It's harvest day. We've got clover, alfalfa, and the long-awaited sunflower. So most people don't think you can grow sunflower in jars, but this is grown in a jar and these little lids with the feet. Patience is definitely your best friend, but you can harvest them even when they're a bit shorter than this, and they taste oilier, more like an actual sunflower seed, but these are definitely one of my favorites. They are a bit of a pain to get the shells off, but so worth it. So worth it. So this is my second round of rinsing them. So I really shake it up and then sort of squeeze it, which helps to get the shells off. And then what I do is I rinse the jar that I used to sprout it in, but I'm replacing the lid because the sprouts do get a bit dry with the other lid. And so I will be back once this is all done. All right, all done, and these are ready to eat or store just like that. We've got sunflower, clover, alfalfa, and you know what? This video was done totally on the fly, but I have so many other tips and info I want to share with you. So here we go. So in terms of days to harvest, as I said, with the sunflower sprouts, patience is your best friend. So we're talking 7 to 10 days. And you can go shorter. And again, higher fat, oilier, lovely, lovely flavor. So good. I think I got every single shell out of there, y'all. Like, no kidding. There's the compost. So these bowls are awesome for compost, for rinsing, whatevers. And these are the lids. And this is a little strainer I use. So that's essentially everything that you need. And then for the clover and the alfalfa, they're pretty fast, 4 to 5 days. So literally you can be grubbing on sprouts super duper fast. Okay, and then in terms of how much you use, I even went and grabbed my seeds, y'all, and then this other thing I'm going to talk about. So I was doing 2 tablespoons for this quart jar, which is 32 ounces, and I was doing that for a while. And what happens is it gets really compact, right? And so it's kind of hard to, if you don't rinse the sprouts, like sometimes if I don't have time, I will leave it in there. But if you leave it in here and you don't do the whole rinsing, what you want to do is you want to get all of the water out of there. So if you see any water pooling on the bottom, it's really going to get soggy and funky, and you're going to have to like end up wasting some of those sprouts. So just drain all of the water, right? And then you can throw it in there. You can even throw it in there with this, but again, some of the sprouts on top might get a little bit dry, right? So anyways, I would say that 1.5 tablespoons is really good. And the other key thing is that you get more chlorophyll since there's more room for the sprouts to grow, right? And then the light, the sun hits it, you get more of the actual green. So you could see, like, sometimes you could see a little bit of yellow because the sun's not really hitting that. So in the center of the jar, a lot of that will be more of the yellow leaves, okay? So that's for the clover and the alfalfa, roughly about the same. And then this is about 7 to 10 days. And I've been experimenting, I would say 7 to 9 tablespoons, specifically of the black oil. So not like the regular sunflower seeds you get in stores, although I do have one that's actually shelled organic, which I'll link below, that will sprout. The germination rate kind of sucks, but you know, if you don't want to mess with this, you can get some good sprouted seeds to make like pâtés and other things, right? So one of the things you do is buy in bulk. So I bought quite a decent variety from this company. And so this is 2 pounds, but you can also go with smaller packs, like this is 6 ounce, 16 ounces, right? So this is a good company. There's several companies that I have purchased from, which is great. And then, so we've talked about composting, your shells, your you know, things that you rinse out, how you can store these without rinsing. And then we have those that are concerned about disinfecting, right? Like, oh my gosh, the seeds, how do I know? E. coli, etc. So I learned about this probably a couple years ago. It's a proprietary blend of different oils, and it's super flipping concentrated. So you only need like a tiny amount. And actually, as a matter of fact, what I did was I put it in this dropper. So like when I soak my produce, you know, you can just drop a little bit into the sink and you're good to go. And this is awesome. It's soapy, so you got to make sure you're really rinsing. I've been consistently sprouting pretty much right now. It is almost the middle of January, 2023, and pretty much since January 2021. So pretty regularly for 2 years. So yeah, this is definitely one of my favorites. Buying in bulk is really good for that. And then we've talked about the different supplies you would need. And if you guys want to know more about sprouting, other tips and tricks, comment below. And I'll also have some other sprouting videos below. Ciao.